Okay, now let's start on this question. Question 5, part A. The question requires 30 kilometers an hour to be converted to millimeters per second. When you do this, the 30, which is kilometers, is in the numerator, and hours is in the denominator. That's what you see by say 30 kilometers per hour. Now 30, which is the numerator, you multiply by 1,000 to make it meters, and another 1,000 to make it millimeters. So 30 times 1,000 times 1,000. The denominator had 1 hour. The 1 hour means it's 1 hour times 60 to make it minutes, and another 60 to make it a second, 2 seconds. So that fraction, 30 kilometers per hour, will become 3 times 10 in place of 30, then 1,000 and 1,000 divided by 60 will have 60 times 60, 3,600, or 3.6 times 1,000. That 1,000 can be expressed as 10 to the 3. So now you will have 3 on 3.6. The numerator has 10, 1,000, and 1,000 is 10 to the 7. There are 7 zeros. The 10 to the 3, which is the numerator, will come to which is the denominator, that's the bottom of the line, denominator, will come to the numerator as 10 to the minus 3. So now 3 on 3.6 is 0.83, and 10 to the 7 times 10 to the minus 3, add the indices, is 10 to the 4. So it's 0.83 times 10 to the 4 meters per second. That's part A. Part B is 9.8 meters per second squared, 2 kilometers per hour or hour squared. Now 9.8 meters is the same thing as 9.8 divided by 1,000 to be converted to kilometers. And the second square, or second times second, is the same thing as 1 on 3,600 for hours times hours is again 1,600. So now we'll go back to the numerator of the first balancing, that sign there, 9.8. 1,000 on the denominator will become 10 to the minus 3 on the numerator, and then below that 1 on 3,600 is the same thing as 1.31 on 3.6 times 10 to the minus 3, because there's 1,000 at the denominator, which becomes numerator again 10 to the minus 3 in that particular section. The other 3,600 also can be written as 1 on 3.6 times 10 to the minus 3. So I'm just now concentrating on the denominator, which is 1 on 3.6 times 10 to the minus 3 times 1 on 3.6 times 10 to the minus 3. The same thing as 1 on 3.6, if you do a calculator, 0.278 is 1 on 3.6 times 10 to the minus 3, the whole thing squared. Same thing as numerator is 9.8 times 10 to the minus 3, but the 9.8, the 0.278 squared is 0.078, and 10 minus 3, 10, and then the 10 to the minus 3 in the denominator, square that, it will be 10 to the minus 6, then again when you bring it to the numerator, it will be 10 to the plus 6. So what you will have is 9.8 divided by 0.078 is 125.6, then 10 to the minus 3 times 10 to the plus 6 is 10 to the 3. So the answer would be 125.6 times 10 to the 3 kilometers per hour squared.